You right, America.
Viktor Reznov.
My friend.
You hit like a child.
Vorkuta Prison and Viktor Reznov, an iconic duo and one of the best moments in all of the Black Ops franchise. But what if I told you it was making a return in Call of Duty Black Ops 6? This isn't speculation, this is confirmed. You see, during the Black Ops 6 Direct, they announced one of the levels would take place in a Russian tundra, and when they showed us gameplay and images of it, turned out to be pretty recognizable. We saw an excavator that looked very, very familiar. Just so happened to be the exact excavator that we saw previously, years and years ago, back in Vorkuta Prison. So Vorkuta is coming in Black Ops 6. The real question is, why and what does this mean for the story? Now, on top of all of this, if you saw my video yesterday, I actually got a package from Treyarch. Inside it, there was two interesting things. One was a jumpsuit, potentially a prison jumpsuit with the Cerberus logo on it. The second was a blueprint for a Russian building, all of the writing in Russian and the year 1963 on it. The exact same year that the Vorkuta prison escape happened in Black Ops 1. We will come back to this. So once again, the question is, why Vorkuta and why would we be going back to it in Black Ops 6? Well, that's why I'm here. So for this, we are going to be welcoming back our evidence board, this time for Vorkuta Prison. So as far as Vorkuta Prison goes, it focuses on two main characters. We wake up in the prison in a fight with Viktor Reznov, a character who was introduced to us in Call of Duty World at War. Now, as far as Viktor Reznov went, he was a hero within World War II, but in a mission that he went on after, once again in a Russian tundra, they find out about a little something alongside Nikita Dragovich and Frederick Steiner by the name of Nova 6 gas. At this time, he is trapped by Steiner and sees his friend and former soldier, Dmitry Petrenko, used. In fact, they test the Nova 6 gas on them. Fortunately, the British Army breaks into the facility and he manages to escape. However, things don't go so well for him. He ends up getting captured and taken to a Russian gulag. That, of course, being Vorkuta Prison. Alex Mason, on the other hand, he was in the Bay of Pigs invasion with Frank Woods and Jason Hudson. Their job was to go in and assassinate Fidel Castro. They think they do so, but it turns out it was a body double. However, as they are going to escape, they are on an airstrip, but the strip is blocked. Alex Mason heroically gets off of the airplane and destroys everything that is on the airstrip. This is right before Nikita Dragovich comes and captures Alex Mason and once again throws him into the gulag. Now, both are in Vorkuta. Now, as we just discussed, our main characters on this map include Alex Mason and his friend and fellow escapee, Viktor Reznov. But he's not the only characters that we know who are in Vorkuta Prison. As we find out by the end of the Black Ops 1 campaign, we have our characters of Lev Kravchenko, Dragovich, and Steiner, who are all inside of Vorkuta Prison doing this whole brainwashing number sequence sleeper agent thing to Alex Mason. All the while, Viktor Reznov is trying to reverse brainwash him because the bad guys want him to kill JFK and Reznov wants him to escape. So the bad guys on this map include Lev Kravchenko, Nikita Dragovich, and finally, our scientist and one of the most important people here, Frederick Steiner. So the question here is, are our characters in Black Ops 6 going back to Vorkuta Prison to get in touch with one of these characters? Now let's start out with our main character, Alex Mason. We know that in Black Ops 1 he manages to escape, but as we talked about in yesterday's video, in the year 1989, he went into the Panama City invasion and was shot by Frank Woods. Based off of what the developers at Treyarch are telling us, Alex Mason is indeed dead. The video for that will be linked down in the description if you want to know more about that. But yeah, he's dead. Obviously, because of this, Alex Mason's dead. He's out. Moving over into the bad guys, the first one, the easiest one to look at, is Nikita Dragovich. By the end of Black Ops 1, Alex Mason is able to break out of the number sequence and figure out where Nikita Dragovich is. He is on a boat called the Rusalka broadcasting numbers. So they go to the Rusalka and, well, this happens.
Dragovich!
Yes, I'm gonna kill you! fuck with my mind! Quiet! You don't know anything! It's like to turn me against my own! It's like to make me kill my own president! Right? Come on, Mason! Mason, this way!
Again, just like Alex Mason, Nikita Dragovich, he is dead. He's off the table as well. Moving next into Frederick Steiner, the doctor behind the Nova 6 gas, a very similar thing happens. However, this time Mason is kind of losing it a little, thinks that he is Viktor Reznov, and well, this is what happens.
Mason, what are you doing? We need him alive! Stand down! Stand down!
My name is Viktor Reznov, and I will have my
Revenge! Mason, no! I'm fine. Check Steiner. He's dead. What about Reznov, the defector? We need to find him.
We won't. He was never here. I didn't believe it till I saw it with my own eyes. What did they do to you in Vorkuta, Mason?
Frederick Steiner died at the hands of Alex Mason, so again, Frederick Steiner is out. Now, Lev Kravchenko was the one character to make it out of Black Ops 1, but later on in the year 1986, well, he's not so lucky.
He's more powerful than you know. He even has people in the CIA.
Bullshit! This guy's fucking with us.
So in a completely separate game to Black Ops 1, Vorkuta was in Black Ops 1. This game, Lev Kravchenko made it out of alive. However, as we just discussed, he, at the time of 1991, when the game takes place, is dead as well. So this leaves us with one, Viktor Reznov. So here's the thing with Viktor Reznov is in Black Ops 1 at the very end, when Alex Mason escapes, Viktor Reznov isn't able to leave with them. And throughout the entirety of Black Ops 1, Alex Mason thinks he is seeing Reznov, but in reality, he's actually not there. He's a figment of Alex Mason's imagination because of the whole brainwashing sequence, and Reznov tried to brainwash him out of the numbers sequence as well. However, we never see Viktor Reznov die. Not once do we see anything along those lines. He just kind of escapes off into the distance. He could have been killed, or he could have been captured and brought back to Vorkuta. This could be the reason why we are going back to get information from Viktor Reznov. The only problem with this is at this point, he would be very, very old. The other thing too is, based off of everything we know, he's most likely dead. Now, the one thing I will say about this is if this happens, we go back to Vorkuta and we run into Viktor Reznov, maybe he gives us information on Alex Mason or MK Ultra or the projects that are being done at Vorkuta Prison. This would be mind-blowing to me. Viktor Reznov is my favorite Call of Duty character at all times, and if he comes back and he was alive this whole time, it would be freaking mind-blowing. What if I told you that Viktor Reznov, yeah, he most likely is dead, but what if I told you that he is not the only possibility? What if I told you there was another person from Vorkuta Prison that we actually know about? That's where our next character by the name of Anthony Rizzo comes in. So as far as this character, this is actually found through the intel on the Vorkuta level in Black Ops 1. He is a former Korean War veteran who was POW in Vorkuta for 5 years. Essentially, the CIA used him as an informant to get information on Vorkuta Prison to figure out whether or not Alex Mason would be able to survive in something like that. And essentially what they found is he would not be able to. And he was also told about all of these various different experiments and things that they do on their inmates within Vorkuta Prison. Keep this in mind, it's gonna come back. So let's say that Viktor Reznov is indeed dead. We don't know for sure, there's the possibility of him coming back, but let's say he's dead. And we already know that Anthony Rizzo is out of the prison, so they wouldn't be going to the prison for that. So, what would be the reason? What if they aren't going there for a person, but rather a thing? And I think that thing is specifically a little something called MK Ultra. Well, the only thing left is what has happened at Vorkuta, and that is the tests on inmates, including Alex Mason. In fact, at the very end of Black Ops 1, they tell us that what was going on inside Vorkuta was the KGB's, or the Russians' version of MK Ultra.
I trusted him.
That's why it worked. It was their attempt at MK Ultra. Dragovich programmed you to kill Kennedy, but Reznov sabotaged you.
So more correctly, I think we are going to go into Vorkuta to see what experiments are actually going on inside, and assumably it'll be related to someone. Maybe it will be Russell Adler, because as we know, in Black Ops Cold War, he was brainwashed by Stitch. So something along those lines is my best guess, kind of like how they went to Mount Yamantau within the Black Ops Cold War seasons to get access to Dragovich's number sequence. So that brings us back to our blueprint that we saw before. Is this a building inside Vorkuta? Well, I saw the year 1963 up in the top left-hand corner and immediately thought, okay, Russian 1963, the only mission to take place at that time period is Vorkuta. This has to be Vorkuta. However, so after the Black Ops 6 briefing, they put up something on the Black Ops 6 website. It says, "Welcome to the Manor. Your central base of operation between each campaign mission is a remote, rambling manor. Integrally, the safe house itself has a secret history. It's formerly served as a KGB black site, which was operational during the 1950s and 60s, vacated some 30 years prior to your team's arrival, which would land us right around the year of 1963. With the locations that we see on that map, we see things like a mudroom, a kitchen, dining room. In other words, all of the areas that we are seeing in this. So what we are looking at on this map isn't Vorkuta, but it's rather the safe house. But what's weird to me is that it takes place on the exact same year as Vorkuta Prison, which leads me to believe something we find in this manor might be the reason why the team goes back to Vorkuta. So yes, this video was mostly speculation, and if you enjoy these type of like evidence board videos, be sure to hit that like button. And if you like what you see here, like these kind of stories and speculations for Call of Duty, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on, and let me know what you think we will be going back to Vorkuta for down in the comments. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace.
We are